Hello everyone, welcome back to IELTS Today. As a team teacher Nishtha Singh, I hope all of you are doing really great. So let's wait for everybody to join and then we'll start. So जैसा कि आप लोग देख सकते हैं आज हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं. Today we are going to do a listening test. Okay, हम एक already कर चुके हैं. So this is the second listening test that we are going to do here. So first let's join everybody and then we'll start. ठीक है, उसके बाद में हम start करेंगे अपना listening test आज का. सो जल्दी से आ जाओ सब लोग. इट्स ऑलमोस्ट 5 PM. 5:01 हो चुका है. जल्दी जल्दी सब लोग ज्वाइन कर लो सो दैट वी कैन स्टार्ट ऑन टाइम. ठीक है, जल्दी से सब लोग आ जाओ. ओके, सो हाउ इट इज़ गोइंग टू बी अगेन सेम जैसे हमने पिछली बार किया था वैसे ही हम लोग इस बार भी करेंगे. क्या करने वाले हैं, मैं ऑडियो प्ले करूंगी, यू विल लिसन टू दैट ऑडियो एंड क्वेश्चंस कहाँ पे स्क्रीन पे डिस्प्ले होंगे और उन क्वेश्चंस को रीड करके प्रॉपरली विद इंस्ट्रक्शंस हम लोग क्या करेंगे, आंसर करेंगे. ठीक है, सो दैट इज़ आवर जॉब गोइंग टू बी टुडे. ये हम लोग करने वाले हैं. सो before starting let's see that what is the quote of the day as we always discuss the quotes, right? So हम लोग हमेशा quote discuss करते हैं. So आज का हम लोग अपना quote देख लेते हैं and then we'll move to the test part. Okay, so today's quote is, the person who does not read books has no advantage over the one who cannot read them. So obviously देखो यहाँ पे जो चीज़ एक बोली गई है ना वो बहुत ही अच्छी बोली गई है कि आप लोग अगर कोई भी इंसान, नॉट ओनली यू बट द पर्सन हु डज नॉट रीड बुक्स, मतलब जो इंसान बुक्स नहीं पढ़ता है उसका ना कोई एडवांटेज नहीं है ओवर द पर्सन हु कैन नॉट रीड. कैन नॉट रीड का मतलब एक इंसान होता है जो पढ़ नहीं सकता और एक इंसान है जो पढ़ता नहीं है, उसे आता है पढ़ना बट ही कैन नॉट, लाइक ही डजंट वांट टू रीड. सो आप दोनों में तो कोई फ़र्क नहीं है ना. एक बंदा है वो उसके पास में कैपेबिलिटी नहीं है कि वो पढ़ सके पर वो चाहता है, पर दूसरा बंदा ऐसा है कि जो पढ़ सकता है पर वो पढ़ना नहीं चाहता. सो आप दोनों कैसे हो, दोनों सेम लेवल पे हो, आप अपने आप को बहुत सुपीरियर नहीं समझ सकते, राइट? सो दैट इज़ राइट इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू रीड बुक्स बिकॉज दे गिव्स यू एक्सपोजर. आप जितनी ज़्यादा बुक्स पढ़ोगे ना उतना ज़्यादा आपके लिए अच्छा है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि सिर्फ फिक्शन पढ़ो या जो भी आपका मन करता है वट एवर, और आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि सिर्फ अपने कोर्स रिलेटेड बुक्स पढ़ो, अलग अलग तरह की बुक्स पढ़ा करो. तो उससे क्या होता है, उससे एक तो you will get some like extra knowledge and also you will get some exposure कि हाँ ऐसी चीज़ें भी होती हैं, ये सारी बातें भी होती हैं, बहुत सारी अच्छी अच्छी चीज़ें you'll learn. Hi Ish, good evening. So as you know आज हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं, today we'll be doing the listening test, right? So I'm just waiting कि सब लोग थोड़ा ज्वाइन कर ले. 5 पे स्टार्ट करेंगे. ओके, सो How was your day, Ish? Is it still going to be like, is it still going hectic like that? जैसे तुम बता रहे थे, that was full of, work and all. Is it still going like the same one? तो चलो जल्दी जल्दी से मुझे थोड़ा बहुत बताओ and then we'll start. ठीक है, 5:05 पे हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे. ओके, सो जब तक क्या करते हैं, क्वेश्चंस देख लेते हैं. सो दिस इज ए पार्ट 1, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 to 5. ओके, सो जिससे पहले मैं ऑडियो प्ले करूंगी उससे पहले एक बार क्वेश्चंस देख लो. हाय मोनिका, गुड इवनिंग. यू आर लेट बेटा, 4 minutes. Having headache now but it's okay I guess. Oh, it's not okay. Please have a glass of water. पानी पियो थोड़ा सा, you'll feel better and take some rest. Don't stress it out. इतना ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस लेने की क्या ज़रूरत है. It's just only work. Okay, just give it little bit time to yourself. थोड़ा सा अपने पे ध्यान दो because it is very very necessary. Your health is important. अगर हेल्थ नहीं ठीक होगी you won't be able to concentrate on either of that. ना तो तुम वो काम अच्छे से कर पाओगे ना ही ये. ठीक है, टेक अ ब्रेक. आई एम नॉट सेइंग थोड़ा सा ब्रेक ले लो, इट्स ओके, इट्स फाइन. थोड़ा सा अपने माइंड को थोड़ा फ्री छोड़ो, टेक अ ब्रेक, थोड़ा सा अपने आप को रिलैक्स करो एंड देन स्टार्ट डूइंग इट. ओके, सो इट्स माई सजेशन, प्लीज़ फॉलो इट. क्यों? बिकॉज हेल्थ इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देखो मैं बार बार इसीलिए बोलती हूँ हेल्थ इज़ इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि मुझे पता है जब बीमार हो जाते हैं तो आगे आने वाले दिनों का भी काम खराब हो जाता है ना. येस, हेल्थ इज़ वेल्थ. देखा, मोनिका इज टेलिंग अस हेल्थ इज़ वेल्थ एंड दैट इज़ ट्रू. हेल्थ इज़ ओनली आवर वेल्थ. ठीक है, यू आर अर्निंग मनी, दैट्स ओके, दैट इज ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट, बट उससे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है हेल्थ. बीमार हो जाओगे, डॉक्टर को पैसा दोगे, तो वो जो पैसा कमा रहे हो वो भी तो वेस्ट हो रहा है ना. सो दैट इज़ वाई फोकस ऑन योर हेल्थ, गिव योर सेल्फ सम रिलैक्सिंग टाइम, पीस ऑफ माइंड, ये सारी चीज़ें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. दैट इज़ वाई आई एम सेइंग. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. ओके, सो इट्स ऑलरेडी 5:06. थोड़ा सा स्टार्ट करते हैं पार्ट बाय पार्ट. Okay, English classes are nothing but antidote for me. That's great. Okay, so yeah, इतना stressful नहीं है ना. चिल होके पढ़ना होता है. क्या करना है, इतना स्ट्रेस तो लेना नहीं. देखो मैं तो हमेशा कहती हूँ कोई स्ट्रेस लेके मत पढ़ो, चिल होके पढ़ा करो. ऐसा नहीं है कि अरे यहाँ से बिल्कुल डंडा निकाल के मैं फेंक के मार दूंगी, नहीं करोगे तो. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. चिल होके पढ़ो, साथ में आराम से पानी वानी लेके बैठो, मंचिंग करते रहो, हैं कुछ ना कुछ खाते पीते रहो. तो चलो, आई एम गोइंग टू प्ले दी ऑडियो नाउ. आराम से क्वेश्चन नंबर yeah, see, I am hoping for the best. It's okay if you're not earning any penny right now, but you will, because I know you all have potential. मतलब मेरे को पता है यार, I can definitely see. So that is why I know and I believe in you guys. So this is your part 1, question number 1 to 5. Just read them and I'll just play the audio. ठीक है, आराम से सुनो, questions करो, आंसर करो, अपना अपना नोट करते जाओ. यहाँ पे अगर इफ़ यू वांट यू कैन कमेंट इन द सेक्शन. कमेंट सेक्शन में अपने आंसर्स पोस्ट कर सकते हो, ऐसा कोई वो नहीं है. ठीक है, आराम से. सो फर्स्ट लिसन एंड देन आंसर. ओके, एंड वन मोर थिंग बेटा, जब वंस यू स्टार्ट लिसनिंग ना, डू लेट मी नो कि क्लियर है साउंड और ऑडियो लाइक बीच में अटक तो नहीं रही. कुछ भी कोई इशू हो तो पहले ही मुझे बता देना. ठीक है, अदरवाइज बीच में बताओगे तो आई हैव टू पॉज और दैट इज़ नॉट गुड. ठीक है, सो वंस इट विल स्टार्ट प्लेइंग मुझे बताना कि मैम ऑडियो क्लियर है, इट इज़ नॉट लैगिंग एनीवेयर. सो विल कंटिन्यू देन.
One. You are going to hear a conversation between a host family and an accommodation officer for international students. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5.
Okay, sound is clear, everything is like okay, clear है sound. एक बार please मुझे बता दो, confirm me once, then we'll move ahead. Monica and Ish, please बेटा मुझे बता दो if the voice is clear and there is no lagging. Chalo, that's great. Okay, so I'm continuing the video, audio, and let's move forward. Hi Preet, जल्दी से बेटा ऑडियो सुनो एंड गिव द टेस्ट. ठीक है, आपने इंस्ट्रक्शन सुन लिए होंगे. चलो,
Accommodation office, Tom speaking. How may I help you?
Yes, hi. My name's Margaret Williams.
Oh, hi.
I understand that you're looking for host families for international students.
Yes, we're always looking for suitable families, as we have a lot of demand at the moment. How did you hear about us?
From a friend, Mrs. Dalton, who's already with your agency. We live in the same street as her in Maltby.
Ah, yes, I know who you mean. You're quite close to several of our schools.
And I just wanted to ask some questions about registering with you.
No problem.
Okay, can you tell me how we go about becoming a host family with you?
Well, once a family first approaches us, we like to make a preliminary visit to the home, have an informal chat, and discuss all the registration details first.
That sounds great. Do we need to make an application at this stage?
No, we like to come and visit you first, and provided we're then both happy after the preliminary chat, we usually begin the registration process there and then, and you can complete it and send it in by email.
What about references and things like that?
If the application for registration is submitted and accepted, we need to do some background checks first of all, and we like to have at least 2 references from families or professional people. We'd only do these if you made a definite commitment to proceed.
Okay.
We think it's better to check that a family is clear about what is involved in the whole process, and then we can begin the application process.
How long does the process take?
It depends, but
Okay, so Monica और इश कह रहे हो कि not clear. Voice is not clear? Clear नहीं आ रही है sound? मुझे please एक बार बता दो. कैसा हो रहा है? लैग कर रही है या फिर थोड़ा सा कैसा साउंड आ रहा है? प्लीज डू लेट मी नो. ठीक है, फिर मैं बता पाऊंगी सो दैट आई कैन एटलीस्ट करेक्ट फ्रॉम माई एंड. कुछ अगर मेरे एंड से इशू होगा, बिकॉज इस वाली जो ये ऑडियो है ना, इसमें थोड़ा सा है भी, थोड़ा सा ना इसमें काइंड ऑफ नॉइज इज देयर. मतलब ऐसा कोई नॉइज नहीं है, बट वर्ड्स वर नॉट क्लियर, मतलब जैसे लोग बात कर रहे हैं. बट आई गेस अगर आप आराम से सुनोगे सो इट इज़ गोइंग टू बी ओके. एक बार मैं अपने एंड से और सुन लेती हूँ, देख लेती हूँ कि क्या इशू आ रहा है. ठीक है. ब्रेकिंग. ओके, इज इंटरनेट कनेक्शन ओके एट योर एंड? देखो मेरे यहाँ पे ना एक्सीलेंट कनेक्शन दिखा रहा है. सो मुझे एक बार बताओ. कनेक्शन ठीक है? कभी अटकनी तो नहीं चाहिए. अच्छा 1 मिनट रुको, 1 मिनट, लेट मी चेक एंड देन आई विल प्ले इट अगेन. ठीक है. ओके, थोड़ा सा वेरिएशन आ रहा है ना साउंड में, मैंने सुना अभी. ओके, सो लेट मी प्ले इट वंस मोर. मैं एक बार शुरू से प्ले कर रही हूँ. ठीक है, एक पॉइंट पे, मतलब एक कंप्लीट डिस्टेंस पे रख के माइक को. सो अब मुझे बताना कि इज इट क्लियर और नॉट. ठीक है.
accommodation office, Tom speaking. How may I help you?
Yes, hi. My name's Margaret Williams.
Oh, hi.
I understand that you're looking for host families for international students.
Yes, we're always looking for suitable families, as we have a lot of demand at the moment. How did you hear about us?
From a friend, Mrs. Dalton, who's already with your agency. We live in the same street as her in Maltby.
Ah, yes, I know who you mean. You're quite close to several of our schools.
And I just wanted to ask some questions about registering with you.
No problem.
Okay, can you tell me how we go about becoming a host family with you?
Well, once a family first approaches us, we like to make a preliminary visit to the home, have an informal chat, and discuss all the
Still getting the low voice? Okay, and now just tell me now. Once I'm just playing it once more. एक बार मुझे बताना. देखो अभी मैंने थोड़ा दूर रख रखा था, माइट बी की डिस्टॉर्शन ना हो. अब मुझे एक बार फिर से बताओ.
accommodation office, Tom speaking. How may I help you?
Yes, hi. My name's Margaret Williams.
Oh, hi.
I understand that you're looking for host families for international students.
Yes, we're always looking for suitable families, as we have a lot of demand at the moment. How did you hear about us?
From a friend, Mrs. Dalton, who's already with your agency. We live in the same street as her in Maltby.
Ah, yes, I know who you mean. You're quite close to several of our schools.
And I just wanted to ask some questions about registering with you.
No problem.
Okay, can you tell me how we go about becoming a host family with you?
Well, once a family first approaches us, we like to make a preliminary visit to the home, have an informal chat and discuss all the registration details first.
That sounds great. Do we need to make an application at this stage?
No, we like to come and visit you first, and provided we're then both happy after the preliminary chat, we usually begin the registration process there and then, and you can complete it and send it in by email.
What about references and things like that?
If the application for registration is submitted and accepted, we need to do some background checks first of all, and we like to have at least 2 references from families or professional people. We'd only do these if you made a definite commitment to proceed.
Okay.
We think it's better to check that a family is clear about what is involved in the whole process, and then we can begin the application process.
How long does the process take?
It depends, but it's usually a few weeks, unless there are any delays. Once everything is agreed, we match students with suitable families at the beginning of a term, and usually at the beginning of the academic year in September.
That all sounds reasonable.
Can I ask how many students you are thinking of hosting?
We thought that we would like to take 2 to start with. We have 2 daughters aged 14 and 15, so we'd like 2 students around a similar age. That would be ideal. It's easier then for them to strike up a friendship.
That shouldn't be a problem. Before you hear the rest of the recording, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10.
ओके लास्ट टाइम पे क्लियर था. वॉज साउंड क्लियर? येस और नो इश? प्लीज़ एक बार मुझे बता दो. मोनिका, इश, प्रीत, एक बार मुझे प्लीज़ बताओ बेटा कि क्लियर थी साउंड लास्ट वाले इसमें जब मैंने अभी प्ले किया है उसमें क्लियर था? ओके मोनिका, आप भी बताओ बेटा, वॉज इट क्लियर? येस और नो? आंसर्स यू कैन सी इफ़ यू वांट, यू कैन गिव हियर एज वेल. मुझे फॉर्म में भी बता सकते हो, मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में बता सकते हो. दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू, क्योंकि कल हम लोग आंसर तो डिस्कस करेंगे. देखो पता है वाई इट इज़ नॉट क्लियर, द रीज़न बीइंग देर इज़ अ 1 पर्सन जिसकी रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है, देर इज़ अनदर पर्सन ऑन फोन कॉल. ठीक है, जो दूसरा वाला बंदा है मिसेज मार्गरेट जो अपना घर देना चाहती हैं, शी इज़ डूइंग एन इंक्वायरी. So that person, that she is on phone, so that is why it is, you know, sounding a little bit weird on call. Okay, chalo, let's move to the next part, I guess. I hope it is okay now. इतना sound, अच्छा sound इतना तो बेकार नहीं था that you were not able to answer any question. ऐसा तो नहीं है. You have read the questions, समझ में थोड़ा बहुत तो आ रहा था, because most of the time the person, you know, was the in charge of the accommodation committee. वो बंदा आंसर कर रहा था, मतलब क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स दे रहा था, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द आंसर्स आर देयर ओनली, है ना. हाँ, मार्गरेट विलियम्स की वॉइस कम आ रही थी. चलो ठीक है, इट्स ओके मोनिका, इट्स ओके. आप कमेंट्स में बता दो, मुझे कहीं बता दो. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि मुझे अभी आंसर्स, मेरे को बस ये कॉन्फर्मेशन चाहिए दैट द साउंड वाज क्लियर. यस आई नो मार्गरेट की साउंड थोड़ी सी कम थी. हाँ बिल्कुल, आप मत दो, आप मुझे वहीं आंसर देना. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि मुझे आप आंसर यहाँ दो. प्रीत, जहाँ आपको आंसर देने का मन हो बेटा, आप मुझे वहाँ देना, क्वायरी फॉर्म में, कमेंट में, जहाँ मन हो. ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच. Okay, I guess I wish I could know your real name, because Cloud22 is, I'm not able to, you know, call you that. But okay, thank you so much. So I'm going to play, I'm going to first show you the next questions, which is question number 6 to 10. And then we'll move forward to the audio, okay? Question number 6 to 10, सुन एक बार questions read कर लो because you have the time, and then we'll move to the answer, audios, okay? सुन लो एक बार, questions read कर लो एक बार.
some time to look at questions 6 to 10.
Obviously, we have to look at things like how far the host family home is from schools we cover, access to libraries, whether you have Wi-Fi, access to public transport, and the neighborhood in general.
Okay. Sounds very reasonable. I think we'd like to proceed.
Okay, that's good. We could actually do a preliminary visit at the end of this week, Thursday morning or Friday afternoon, or any time on Saturday, and have a more detailed chat and start the application process, if appropriate.
Okay. We're both free on Friday afternoon.
That'd be fine. Can I have the number of your house?
It's 53.
53, and two more things. Could I take a mobile number?
Yes, it's 08977 392251.
392251.
Yes, that's right.
And your email address?
It's maw973@maltby.co.uk.
Okay. I'll email you the confirmation of the meeting, and shall we say 2 p.m.?
Yes,
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay, so done with the questions. I guess अब clear था audio. Was it clear? Please मुझे बता देना that it was clear, yes or no. And you might have wrote all the answers. उसके बाद में we'll move forward. ठीक है? Chalo, that's great. Thank you, Monica. Thank you so much. Email address wasn't clear because it was said a little bit, faster. That's why. देखो, audio, I was placing the mic at the same time. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. You can, hear it later on once the live is not clear. Last one was not clear. थोड़ा सा attentive होके सुनना, ठीक है? एक बार, because I'm not going to play it once more. You can hear it once again, ठीक है? Attentive होके एक बार सुनना and then try to answer. चलो, let's move to the next ones, ठीक है? अब आप लोग अपने अपने आंसर एक बार चेक कर लो from question number 1 to question number 10. Give it a, brief look. देख लो कि हाँ ठीक है. Is it going to be there, yes or no or whatever? And then we'll move to the section B, okay? चलो. Voice got cut totally, okay. चलो ट्राई टू हियर इट इन द वीडियो लेटर ऑन, ठीक है? अगर तब भी क्लियर नहीं होगा तो देन विल डिस्कस इट इन द आंसर सेक्शन, ठीक है? देखते हैं एक बार. मैं भी एक बार वापस से जाके ना वंस द लाइव इज ओवर आई लिसन टू इट. फिर मैं देखूंगी कि कहाँ कहाँ पे देयर वाज सम ऑडियो एरर्स, ऑडियो के इश्यूज कहाँ कहाँ पर आ रहे थे. नाउ देयर इज द टाइम टू चेक योर आंसर्स फ्रॉम क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 10. आधा 30 seconds दो उसको चेक करो and then we'll move to the next part, okay? Hello Anju, you are late, 24 minutes. Please be on time.
Now turns to part 2.
Part 2.
You are going to hear a speech from the director of the museum talking about the annual competition. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15.
Okay, so again I'm going to move to part 2, question number 11 to 15. ठीक है? So देखो यहाँ पे 11 to 15 are in parts, MCQs टाइप के हैं. So question number 11 ये रहा. एक बार रीड कर लो, फिर I'll move to question number 12 and similarly 13, 14 and 15. Because in your exam you'll be getting all the 11 to 15 on one page. ठीक है? अभी यहाँ पे ऐसा आ रहा है because I didn't have that much space, so I put it like this only. क्योंकि अगर मैं छोटा छोटा लिखती तो you won't be able to see, right? So इसीलिए बेटा मैंने ऐसे किया हुआ. एक बार question number 11 रीड कर लो अच्छे से, ठीक है? ताकि तुम लोगों को एक आइडिया हो जाए. वंस द ऑडियो विल प्ले यू विल हैव अ ग्रेटर आइडिया कि हाँ इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस पार्ट ओनली. So question number 11 में the yearly competition is held on. So जो कॉन्वर्सेशन तो नहीं है, इट इज़ अ स्पीच पार्ट 2 में है ना. पार्ट 2 में स्पीच है ऑफ अ डायरेक्टर. एक डायरेक्टर है किसी जगह के, म्यूजियम के, और वो एक स्पीच देने वाले हैं. सो उनकी स्पीच से क्या है, क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 11 पढ़ लिया सबने? मोनिका, एश, अंजू, सब लोगों ने पढ़ लिया क्वेश्चन नंबर 11? प्लीज डू लेट मी नो. एंड आई गेस प्रीत इज नॉट हियर. मेरे पास आंसर्स भी नहीं आए प्रीत के. क्वेश्चन 11 रेड, यस और नो? मुझे प्लीज एक बार बता दो सो दैट आई कैन मूव टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 12. चलो आई मूव टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 12 देन. मोनिका पढ़ लिया बेटा? चलो दैट्स ग्रेट. देखो दिस इज योर क्वेश्चन नंबर 12. क्वेश्चन नंबर 12 में बोल रहा है द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ दिस ईयर्स कॉम्पिटिशन इज यूजिंग टेक्नोलॉजी एंड देयर आर योर ऑप्शंस. ओके, जब क्वेश्चन नंबर 12 पढ़ लो प्लीज डू लेट मी नो. विल मूव फॉरवर्ड. चलो आई गेस पढ़ लिया होगा, काफी टाइम हो गया. क्वेश्चन नंबर 13. दिस इज द क्वेश्चन नंबर 13. द कॉम्पिटिशन वॉज लिमिटेड टू दोज एज्ड. एज बता रखी है. सो देयर अगेन ऑप्शंस you have to choose. This is your question number 13. I guess ये भी easy था. Question number 14 जल्दी से. This is your question number 14. During the preparation for the entry, the competitors were. Now there are again options A, B and C. You have to choose the correct one according to the audio. Okay, that's great, Monica. Thank you for the confirmation, beta. Now let's move to question number 15. Okay. Now this is the question number 15. According to the speaker, the prize winning exhibits have. Now you have few options, right? So these are the 5 questions. Question number 11 to question number 15. Now again I'll move to question number 11. एक बार audio सुनो. Accordingly I'll move forward the on the page कि question number 11 से फिर 12, 12 to 13, 13 to 14 and 14 to 15 accordingly. ठीक है ना? Then you can answer. चलो again I'm going back to question number 11. चलो. Now I'm going to play the audio. आराम से audio सुनना. Try to answer all the 5 questions. ठीक है, आराम से सुन के.
Welcome. My name's Darren Timpson, and I'm the director of the Penwood Museum. And I'm here to announce the winners of our annual competition, which, as usual, runs in conjunction with our summer exhibition. Each year, the competition has a specific theme, and the theme we chose for this year's competition is the use of technology to improve links between the local community and the museum. Entrants could choose from a selection of the museum's artifacts to create exhibits on this topic. We've had loads of entries from secondary schools, which is important as more local teenagers are getting involved. I just want to give you some background information about this year's competition.
The competition was open to groups of young people from institutions like schools and youth clubs who were aged between 15 and 19 on the final entry date for the competition, which was the 13th of May. While preparing their competition entry, the competitors were allowed to use the educational facilities at the museum and to look for help from local sponsors, but were not allowed to buy any equipment. We then had 7 shortlisted exhibits, which visitors to the museum of all ages were allowed to vote on for the first 3 places. The prize-winning exhibits are having a big impact on Penwood Museum attendances, which have risen by up to 45% since the summer show opened. The first prize in this year's competition has been won by a group of 7 young people who chose various exhibits from the museum's collection of equipment from the 1950s to the 1970s. They arranged them with modern versions and then recorded their own reactions and comments to the exhibits. They then did the same with the comments made by visitors aged 65 and over. And so, can we have a round of applause for the winners from Tigers Community Centre who called their entry Technology Now and Then. And the second prize winners are Tabard High.
Before you hear the rest of the recording, you have some time to look at questions 16 to 20.
Okay, तो सुना, I guess it was clear. ऑडियो में कोई इशू तो नहीं था इस बार. सारे फेसेस यहीं भेजने हैं. चलो पहले मुझे ये बता दो एक बार, ऑडियो में कोई इशू तो नहीं था बेटा? कहीं पे अगर ऑडियो में लग रहा था प्लीज डू लेट मी नो. सो आई गेस आंसर्स हो गए होंगे क्वेश्चंस के. नाउ विल मूव टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 16 to 20. ठीक है, सो एक बार रीड कर लो इंस्ट्रक्शंस की हैं किस चीज़ के लिए, और उसके बाद में विल मूव फॉरवर्ड. ठीक है ना, तो देखो क्वेश्चन नंबर 16 to 20 में द वीडियो कमेंट्रीज. What did the older people say about each piece of equipment? Choose 5 answers A to F. Equipment दे रखे हैं. Question number 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. These are the equipments. ठीक है, I missed the questions. All were good. Yes, but कोई नहीं, you can hear it again and answer them. Okay. So वो तो क्या थे, equipments थे. ये comments हैं. इक्विपमेंट्स पढ़ लो एक बार एंड देन मूव टू द कमेंट्स. पहले एक बार इक्विपमेंट्स रीड कर लेते हैं. सो व्हाट आर द इक्विपमेंट्स? अर्ली वुडन फ्रेम टीवी, अर्ली रेडियोज, माइक्रोवेव ओवन्स, लैपटॉप्स, ओल्ड कैमराज. सो दीज आर द 5 इक्विपमेंट्स. अब इनके बारे में क्या कमेंट्रीज की गई हैं वो भी एक बार सुन लेते हैं. ठीक है, एक बार रीड कर लेना, अच्छे से लिख लेना बेशक चाहो तो. ठीक है, सो दैट यू वोंट फॉरगेट देम. नाउ कमेंट्स क्या क्या हैं? टू लार्ज, बोरिंग, more convenient, exciting, well constructed, still looked fashionable. ठीक है, सो एक बार यहां से कमेंट्स आ गए. हाँ, ये वाला लिख कर ही हो पाएगा. आई नो, ये वाला लिख कर ही हो पाएगा. सो इसीलिए आई एम सेइंग कोई भी एक चीज लिख लो. सी कमेंट्स लिख लो. ठीक है, कमेंट्स लिख लो एंड इक्विपमेंट्स मैं तुम्हें बाद में दिखाऊंगी. सो कमेंट्स लिख लो. ए इज टू लार्ज, बी इज बोरिंग, C is more convenient, D is exciting, E is well constructed and F is still looked fashionable. ये 5-6 के 6 हमारे पास कमेंट्स हैं. लिख लो. 6 में से हमें सिर्फ 5 ही चूज करने हैं. ठीक है, सो एक हमारा अनयूज्ड रहेगा. ठीक है ना. ये भी हमारे डिस्ट्रैक्टर्स हैं, पता है, क्योंकि एक डिस्ट्रैक्शन इसमें लगाया हुआ है बिकॉज इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी यूज्ड. दैट इज वाई. लिख लिया आई गेस, इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है. अगेन आई एम गोइंग बैक. लिख लिया पहले सबने? प्लीज डू लेट मी नो. मोनिका एंड निश, लिख लिया बेटा? यस और नो मुझे बता दो. कोई बात नहीं. इट्स ओके, यू कैन जस्ट वॉच इट, लिसन टू द ऑडियो एंड जस्ट वॉच इट. ठीक है, तो चलो आई एम गोइंग टू प्ले द ऑडियो. आराम से सुनो एंड ट्राई टू आंसर इट.
Before we have some refreshments, I'd like to draw your attention to some of the video commentaries on the winning exhibit, which have been left by members of the public and which are very moving and some very funny. I particularly liked seeing the recording of the reaction of several people when they talked about an early wooden frame TV from their childhood. They remembered their first TV, which they thought still fitted in with today's trends. They remembered how they would sometimes all go round to someone's house to watch TV as a special treat. But they thought the modern TV screen, with the remote, was much easier to watch. As for the collection of old radios, it has to be seen. They are really huge old wooden frame radios in perfect working order and in perfect condition. Some teenagers' reactions to the radios were very funny. They couldn't believe how big they were. And the older visitors, all of whom used to have one, said they liked them. But they also thought they were too big to fit into living rooms these days. A few more items worth looking at from the display are old kitchen items. Young people thought the cooker from the 1950s looked funny alongside the latest microwaves. Nearly all interviewees who were aged 65 and over used microwave ovens, which they thought were much handier. Seeing old typewriters on display next to slim laptops made them look weird and cumbersome. All those who were 65 and over preferred the laptops, which they thought were thrilling. The other electronic items on display were a collection of old and fairly recent cameras. They also thought the older cameras were well made and better than the newer ones. I'd like to thank you all for coming, and please give a round of applause for all the entrants to the competition.
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay, so done, Monica. Ish was asking for your assistance. Ish को लग रहा था कि हाँ, you will help him. तो चलो, I guess note down कर लिया होगा. Yes or no? एक बार please मुझे बता दो. Ish, you will listen again. ठीक है, एक बार फिर से सुन के एक बार questions देख के अच्छे से and then answer me, okay? Monica, आप बताओ बेटा. Done? Yes or no? चलो, that's great. Next. अब क्वेश्चन नंबर 20 तक हो गया. दैट मीन्स पार्ट 2 इज डन. अब पार्ट 3 पे मूव करते हैं. नाउ दिस इज योर पार्ट 3 हियर. ठीक है. सो एक बार देख लेते हैं कि पार्ट 3 में कॉन्वर्सेशन किस बारे में है. फर्स्ट विल लिसन एंड देन विल रीड द क्वेश्चंस. ओके.
Now turns to part 3. Part 3.
You are going to hear a conversation between a tutor and two students about their presentation. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
तो देखो इसमें क्या है. देयर इज अ कॉन्वर्सेशन बिटवीन टू स्टूडेंट्स एंड उनके ट्यूटर है. सो 3 लोगों के बीच में कॉन्वर्सेशन होने वाली है. ठीक है. सो अब क्या है इसमें क्वेश्चन नंबर 21 से 25 के बीच में बात होगी. सो पहले देख लेते हैं. इसमें बोला है विच 5 इम्प्रूवमेंट्स डज फ्रांसिस्का सजेस्ट अबाउट द प्रेजेंटेशन. सो यहाँ पे यू हैव अ वेराइटी ऑफ ऑप्शंस और इम्प्रूवमेंट्स. इनमें से यू हैव टू चूज ओनली 5. सो दिस इज योर जॉब गोइंग टू बी. ठीक है ना. सो दिस इज योर पार्ट. नाउ यू हैव टू चूज अकॉर्डिंगली. ऑडियो सुनने के बाद करना क्या है. चूज करना है आउट ऑफ दीज ऑप्शंस. सो इन 8 में से तुम्हें सिर्फ 5 चूज करने हैं. 3 तुम्हारे कैसे रहेंगे. अनयूज्ड रहेंगे. सो लिसन केयरफुली एंड देन गिव आंसर.
Okay, if you want, we've got some time left for some feedback on your joint presentation today.
Yeah, we can do it now while it's fresh in our minds, if it's okay with Francesca.
It's okay with me.
So, Francesca, how do you think it went?
Well, I was really happy with it actually, but I'm glad it's over. I think the main advantage of doing the presentation was that we both learned quite a lot about training and skills development for the workplace and how they improve people's opportunities in life, especially their job prospects.
And we learnt a lot from actually delivering the presentation as well, which is really useful for the future.
Yeah, that was important too. As I said, I was pleased with it, but if I had to do it all over again, I'd change a few things.
Like what, for instance?
Well, the first thing I do is work on the pace of the talk and make the delivery slower. And I'd keep a clock in front of me so that I was aware of the speed. And the next thing is the length of the talk. I'd make the presentation time 15 minutes for each of us because I think 10 minutes each was much too short. If we'd given ourselves more time, it would have flowed better.
Yes, I agree. I thought the timing was a bit tight. I'd say maybe even 30 minutes each.
30 minutes might have been a bit long for both you and the audience.
Maybe you're right. 15 minutes each would probably have been better.
And the next thing is the order of the data. I thought the sequence was bad. It could have been a lot better.
Yes. If I had to give some particular advice, I'd say you needed to give yourselves a run through once or twice using the equipment just to see what it's like. Doing it without preparation like that's not that easy.
No, definitely not. And another thing for me is that we forgot to give out the handouts with the copies of our slides on them for people to take notes. I should have given them out before we started. And one final thing I do is I check that everyone could see the screen properly. I'd make sure the arrangement of the chairs in the room made it easy for everyone to see.
And Jack, what about you? How did you feel about it all?
Well, I agree with Francesca. Yeah, in everything she said. It's very difficult to make the delivery smooth. When I do it again, I'll definitely spend more time practicing to make it run more smoothly.
Before you hear the rest of the recording, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30.
Okay, again, I guess done. Chalo, that's great. Next पे चलते हैं because we are left with 7 minutes. Right? तो जल्दी से उसे भी complete करना है. So these are question number. आपको question number कहाँ से कहाँ तक 26 से 30 तक देखने हैं. So these are your 26 से 28 this one and 29 and 30 are here. ठीक है? तो instructions पढ़ना. Write only one word for on each answer. इसमें भी एक एक word लिखना है and again write only one word for each answer. There is one fill in the blank and question answer kind of things. So मैं audio play करने वाली हूँ. Questions read कर लो and then we'll start. ठीक है? 30 seconds का 10 seconds का आपको buffer मिलेगा. That is going to start now.
But would you add anything to what Francesca said?
Perhaps I'd try to pack less information into the time given. I thought at first it would be the opposite. I was afraid that we'd end up looking foolish. And also, I think I'd spend less time on the information gathering phase, because unless time is devoted to practicing, it'll not be possible to give a good performance.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. Anything else?
Yeah, I get very nervous when I speak in front of people. If I did it again, I'd make sure I practiced speaking out loud and projecting my voice. I think the key for me is learning to steady my nerves.
But you were very calm.
Not inside, I wasn't.
Well, it didn't show.
I think you need the nerves to keep you going. But maybe try to take your mind off it beforehand by exercising or something.
Is that everything?
Yeah?
Okay. Well, you'll be pleased to know the feedback from the class questionnaires was that the presentation was enjoyable, so well done. But I have to say that I agree with them.
Oh, thanks.
I'll make a copy for both of you of the questionnaires if you want. And if and when you do give a talk again, you can keep them to refer to.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
ठीक है, अब अपने आंसर्स चेक कर लो. ओके, क्वेश्चन नंबर 21 से लेके 30 तक जो जो किए हैं, राइट, गो थ्रू कर लो एक बार एंड देन विल मूव फॉरवर्ड. ओके, so that was the end of part 3. now part 4 will start. now again part 4 में question number 31 से 34 तक again it is like this. so पहले instruction सुन लेते हैं and then I'll
Now turns to part 4. Part 4.
You are going to hear a part of a lecture about history of money. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
क्वेश्चन नंबर 31 से 40 तो देखो, दिस इज योर क्वेश्चन नंबर 31. रीड कर लो एक बार एंड देन विल मूव फॉरवर्ड. ठीक है, क्योंकि टाइम थोड़ा सा कम है बेटा. दिस इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 32, राइट. दिस इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 33. दिस इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 34. ओके, नाउ दीज आर क्वेश्चन नंबर 35 to 40. 35 to 40 में दीज आर व्हाट, ब्लैंक्स. कुछ एक पैराग्राफ है उसमें कुछ ब्लैंक्स हैं लाइक दैट, और आधा पार्ट उसका यहाँ पर है. ठीक है ना, तो चलो अगेन आई एम गोइंग टू प्ले दी ऑडियो. क्वेश्चन नंबर 31 से 34 तक आई चेंज दी स्लाइड अकॉर्डिंगली. ठीक है ना, उसको आराम से सुनना, समझना एंड फिर आंसर करना.
As we continue our series on customs and traditions that influence the values and principles of all societies in the world, today we're going to talk about money. It is easy to think of money as just an economic tool in the world of finance, but it also has a social and psychological dimension. It is woven into the fabric of our society and thinking, and as such has, through history, despite people's criticism of its pursuit, helped lay down the standards and the ethics that govern modern society. First of all, to look at the history of money, we need to ask ourselves what money is. Money is, in fact, an invention of the human mind, which is made possible because we, as human beings, are able to give value to symbols. And money is one of the most important symbols in all societies because it represents the value of goods and services. If we accept any object as money, say a gold coin or a digital bank account balance, both the user and the wider community have to agree to this. So all the money that we use today has not just an economic dimension, but a psychological and a social one as well. Before we look at so-called commodity money, with the introduction of coins and representative money, let's go back to the time of bartering. Before money was invented, bartering was the main way to exchange goods. An individual who had something of value, such as some grain, could directly exchange the grain for another item, which was seen to have an equivalent value, like a small animal or a tool. The seller of the grain, of course, had to find someone who wanted to buy it, and who could offer in return something the seller wanted to buy. There was no common medium of exchange, such as money, into which both seller and buyer could convert the commodities they wanted to trade. So the first stage in the evolution of money was commodity money. This involved accepting objects or commodities, such as grain or metals or animals, as being inherently valuable, so they could be used as a common standard of measure and unit of exchange. People could accept any of these objects as money because they had inherent use value for every individual, and therefore they would be widely accepted by other people. All metals were accepted because they could be easily converted into precious tools, for instance, axes and spades. Metals such as gold and silver also had secondary advantages. They were also easy to identify and visually attractive. Gold, silver, copper, as well as other usable objects such as salt and peppercorns, are categorized as commodity money, since they combine the attributes both of a usable commodity and a symbol. So people accepted foods and metals as money because they were sure of their value to themselves and to other people. Then came metal coins, which were another step in the evolution from usable commodities such as grains to symbolic forms of money. Metal had a use value of its own, but coins became accepted in trade for their symbolic value. They acted as a standard measure for exchanging other goods and services of value, rather than for the use of the metal they contained. The next stage in the evolution of money is that of representative money. Representative money is symbolic money that is based on useful commodities, such as the warehouse receipts issued by the ancient Egyptian grain banks, and more recent forms of paper currency that were backed by gold or silver. The adoption of representative money was a significant evolution in human consciousness. Psychologically, the individual had to transfer the sense of value from a usable material object to an abstract symbol. Socially, groups of people had to agree on the common usage of the same symbol. The invention of representative money then had a profound effect on the evolution of both money and society.
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
ओके सो दैट वाज ऑल फॉर टुडे. पूरे के पूरे हमारे 4 पार्ट्स कंप्लीट हो गए हैं ना. हमने 40 क्वेश्चंस कर लिए. नाउ व्हाट इज़ योर वर्क? मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में अपने आंसर्स भेजना आफ्टर लिसनिंग टू द ऑडियो अगेन. मुझे पता है किसी के पास में कुछ इशू था, किसी के साथ कोई इशू था, तो कोई बात नहीं, एक बार ऑडियो फिर से सुन लेना, आंसर्स भेजना. कल हम लोग आंसर फिर भी डिस्कस करने वाले, तो कल 5 PM से पहले पहले अपने आंसर्स मुझे भेज देना, ठीक है? सो दैट इज़ ऑल फॉर टुडे. विल मीट अगेन tomorrow at 3 PM and 5 PM. Okay, so bye bye, take care and have a great day. And again, new faces, right? So it was enjoyable, है ना? चलो, bye Ish, bye Monica, have a great day beta.